Hello students, today we are going to learn an important article, that is the relation between lateral, axial and angular magnifications for an optical system. So consider the optical system here being described by the first principal plane and the second principal plane, and this is the principal axis. So consider this is the principal axis and the optical system is being described by the first principal plane and the second principal plane here. Now in this figure here, consider the any object AB placed on the axis here, and to obtain the image here we draw three rays. The first of all, consider the ray A1 parallel to the axis. After refraction it passes through the second focal point F2 here. This is the first ray, and now consider the second ray here A F1K1, which is passing through the first focal point, and according to the concept of the cardinal points or according to definition of the first focal point, after refraction it proceeds parallel to the axis here. And now consider the third ray here, which makes an angle θ1 with the axis. After refraction it makes an angle θ2 with the axis here. So the intersection of any two refracted rays here, intersection of this ray, first ray which is related to the F2 and the second ray which is related to the F1, the intersection point we are getting A dash. A dash will be the image of A, and here draw A dash B dash perpendicular to the axis. A dash B dash will be the image of here the object AB. Now here in this figure, H1, H2 are the principal points, first principal point, second principal points. These capital F1 and F2 are the first and second focal points. And now suppose here, this is the optical system here being described by the principal planes, and on one side of the optical system there is media 1 suppose, and mu1 is equal to refractive index of this media, and on the other side of the optical system, if this is the media 2 say, and mu2 is nothing but refractive index of this medium on this side, image side, and the object side. Mu1 is nothing but media, mu1 is nothing but refractive index of media 1, and mu2 is nothing but refractive index of the media 2 here. Now suppose here we are knowing the H1 F1 is nothing but the small f1. This is the first focal length of the lens system. F2, distance between F2 and the S2, distance of second focal point from the second principal point gives rise to second focal length of the lens system. This is small f2 here. Now suppose the x1 is nothing but here the distance of the object from the first focal point, that is f1b is nothing but the x1 is nothing but here the distance of the object from the first focal point, and the x2 is nothing but here the distance of the image from the second focal point. So this is regarding here the information about this figure. Now we will define the lateral magnification. Lateral magnification is defined as the lateral magnification, lateral, or it is also called as linear magnification. Lateral or linear, or it is also called as the transverse magnification. Transverse magnification. Transverse magnification, and it is denoted by M, and it is defined as the ratio of height of the image to the height of the object. The lateral magnification is related to the what here? The height of the object and the image. So it is the ratio of height of object, height of image, that is y2 we will say here, divided by the height of image, that is nothing but y1. So y2 divided by y1. So and it is suppose this is the equation 1. So equation 1 we will define lateral or the linear or transverse magnification is defined as the ratio of height of image to the height of object. It is represented by m, and m is equal to therefore y2 divided by y1. That is equation 1c. Similarly here the axial magnification. Axial magnification here is defined as the axial, or it is also called as longitudinal magnification. Axial or longitudinal magnification is defined as here. It is related to the ratio of the extension of the object and the extension of image. It is the ratio of the extension of the image to the extension of the object on the x-axis. It is represented by mx. So it is represented by mx suffix. It is related to x-axis. So x here. So and it is given as, if suppose the extension of the object or the depth of the object or the thickness of the object here, thickness of the object here on the x-axis, here is nothing but distance x2, and the thickness is suppose dx2 divided by the thickness of the here the image on the x-axis, that is dx1, and this is equation number 2 say here. And lastly, third is nothing but here the angular magnification. Angular magnification is defined as here the angular magnification. It is related to the angle. Angular magnification. It is denoted by alpha, and it is defined as if theta1 and the theta2 are the angles made by the incident ray and the emergent ray and related to the object and the image, then the ratio of tan theta2 here, the ratio of tan theta2 divided by tan theta1 is known as angular magnification. And if this theta1 and theta are very small, then tan theta2 can be written as theta2. Tan theta2 is approximately equal to theta2, and tan theta1 is approximately equal to theta1, and therefore this is equation number 3. So remember here all the definitions are related to the here image parameters divided by object parameters. Image parameters divided by object parameters. Image parameters upper side, and in the denominator there is what here the object parameters. So the first related to the transverse direction, that is y direction, which is related to the object, height of the object and the image. Second is related to the extension of the object and the image on the x-axis. So it is dx2 divided by dx1, and it is related to, this is the image parameter, the angle made by the refracted ray and corresponding incident ray theta1. So these are the definitions. Now we have to find out here the relationship between all these m, mx and the alpha. For that, the first of all consider the similar triangles ABF1 and K1H1F1. So we will consider here the triangles. Which triangles? Similar triangles ABF1. This is first triangle, and its similar triangle is K1H1F1. Here the K1H1 and the F1. So consider these two triangles. Now from two triangles, as usual, we can write the ratio of the sides of the corresponding sides of the two similar triangles are equal. And therefore, first upon H1K1, here we can write here H1K1 divided by corresponding side of the triangle is nothing but AB divided by AB. Here this will be equal to here. Now consider the other side, that is H1F1. This H1F1 divided by the BF1 here is nothing but what here, the BF1. Similarly also this also will be equal to last side, this side divided by this side, but we are not required here, so we can write this much. The ratio of the three corresponding three sides, ratio of the corresponding three sides of the two similar triangles are equal. We will take here the two sides ratio, that much is sufficient for the definition. So this implies that here, now on the basis of, by using the sign conventions which are right here, the value of H1K1, this is nothing but what here, the height of the image, that is nothing but y2. But this y2 distance lies below the axis, and it is taken as the negative according to the sign conventions. So minus y2 here, the minus y2 divided by The EB is nothing but here the height of object, that is y1, and the distances which are measured above the axis can be taken as positive. Therefore, here only we can write the y1. So this will be equal to now here the h1 f1. This h1 f1 is nothing but first focal length of the lens system, and the distances which are measured from the origin in the direction opposite to the direction of the light can be taken as negative. So this distance is measured is negative. So f1 is nothing but here h1 f1 is nothing but minus f1 we can write divided by the bf1. This bf1 is also lies to this side, so minus x1 this is. So we can write here the minus x1. Now which implies here, so remember here y2 divided minus minus become plus, and this minus goes to this side. So we are getting here finally y2 divided by y1. This will be equal to minus f1 divided by the x1. But here we are knowing this y2 divided by y1 is nothing but what here? The lateral magnification, that is m. So we can represent here which is equal to m means lateral magnification. By the definition it is m, and this will be equal to minus f1 divided by the x1. So this gives rise to the lateral magnification. So this is the equation 4 say. This is equation 4 here. Also from right angle triangle, from the similar triangles to this side. So lateral magnification can be given in terms of the parameter of the object side. Object side we are getting minus f1 divided by x1. Similarly, the lateral magnification can also be defined in terms of the image parameters also, and for that here we will consider the similar triangles A2, S2, F2. Now consider the triangles, similar triangles A2, S2 and the F2 here, and the similar triangles is nothing but here A dash, B dash, F2. Here the A dash, B dash and the F2. Now from these similar triangles we can write here the A dash, B dash ratio. We can write A dash, B dash divided by A dash, B dash divided by E2, S2 here. So this will be equal to B dash F2 divided by B dash F2 divided by corresponding side S2 F2 divided by S2 F2, and this can be written as this is equal to A dash B dash is nothing but here the minus y2 using sign conventions, here minus y2 divided by E2 S2 is nothing but what here the height of the, this is nothing but the height of the object, that is nothing but y1 here, and this will be equal to B dash F2 is nothing but x2, and it is measured to the left side distance. So these distances are positive according to sign convention. So we can write here the distances which are measured from the origin of the optical system in the direction of the light. This is the direction of the light. It can be taken as positive, and therefore x2 becomes positive. This also distance positive, that is f2. S2 is nothing but second focal length of the lens system. So this is equal to f2. So this can be written as here. This will be equal to here. We will take minus side to this side. So minus y2 divided by the y1. So this will be equal to minus x2 divided by the f2. So, and this is nothing but again y2 divided by y1 is nothing but definition of lateral magnification. So we can write instead of this here the lateral magnification m will be equal to minus x2 divided by the f2. So this is the another definition of the lateral magnification in terms of the image parameters. So I will write here because that the equation is useful for the next portion. So minus m is also is equal to minus x2 divided by the f2 here. So this can also be used the lateral magnification, and if suppose this is the equation number 5c. So we have seen the so equation 4 and 5 use what here? The lateral magnification, lateral or linear or the transverse magnification here. Now from equations 4 and 5 also we can write, it is seen that here from equations 4 and 5 it is in that these sides LHS are equal, so we can write equal the LHS side, RHS sides are equal. So minus F1, so minus here the F1 divided by x1, this will be equal to minus x2 divided by what here, the F2. We can write like this. So from these two equations, minus minus become get cancels or become positive, minus minus get cancels, we will take as the positive and take the cross product. So we are getting x1 x2, this will be equal to f1 f2. We are getting what here, this is equal to f1 f2, and we are knowing this is nothing but what here, the Newton's formula. So earlier in the derivation of the Newton's formula we have seen this is nothing but what here, the Newton's formula. This is Newton's formula here. Now in this equation f1 and f2 are constants, and we will take the differentiation of this equation. So differentiating this equation, here we are getting, here we can apply the product rule here, because two are variables and product rule, first constant differentiation of other plus other constant differentiation of first. So for that, here differentiating we are getting here x1 into differentiation of x2, that is dx2, here we are getting dx2 plus now other constant, that is x2 constant differentiation of first, that is dx1, here will equal to differentiation of this constant term, that is equal to 0. Now this can be written as, which implies here the x1 dx2, this will be equal to, we will take to this side, that is minus dx1 minus x2 into dx1 we are dx1. So like this we are getting, and we will write here, this equation is rearranged as here dx2 divided by dx2, we will dx1 taken to this side, dx1 taken to this side. So dx2 divided by dx1, this will be equal to, we are getting minus x2 divided by x1, we are getting. So which implies next, which implies, so according to definition of the axial or the longitudinal magnification, mx is equal to dx2 divided by dx1. So instead of this we can write here, this is nothing but what here, the mx. So mx will be equal to minus x2 divided by dx1 here, and this gives the axial magnification. So this is the equation number 6a. So equation number 6 what gives? It gives the axial or the longitudinal magnification is given by the minus x2 divided by the x1. Now we will find out the relationship between m and mx, and for that here consider again this equation. We will consider the equation mx is equal to minus x2 divided by mx, the axial magnification mx, this will be equal to minus x2 divided by the x1, and this will, we will write this as, this will be equal to, we will take the minus x2 from the equation 5, this is equal to f2, take to this side, मुझे m f2 minus x2, you have to substitute the value of minus x2 from equation 5 here, and x1 value of the x1 substitute from equation 4 in these equations, we will get the relationship between m and mx. So for that here minus x2 is equal to m f2, so we are getting here m f2 here divided by, so divided by what we are getting, x1 is equal to here, x1 we will take to this side, m becomes here minus f1 divided by m we are getting, so minus f1 divided by m. So this will be equal to, m goes to this side, so become m square here, so m square we are getting, and the f2 minus f2 divided by f1. So we are getting like this equation. So this will be equal to, so last time we have derived the relationship between f1 and f2 for an optical system in terms of v1 and v2, and it is found that here the f1 to f2 divided by f1, this comes out to be equal to minus this relation we have find out, mu2 divided by mu1. So last time we have derived this equation. Mu2 divided by mu1 is equal to minus f2 divided by f1, and we will substitute instead of minus f2 divided by f1, mu2 divided by mu1. So this will be equal to m square mu2 divided by the mu1. So the mx, the axial magnification will be equal to, we are getting m square mu2 divided by mu1. If the medium on both sides of the optical system is same, then the mu1 is equal to mu2. Then we are getting mu1 is equal to mu2. Medium same. Here are different media we have taken, but if the medium, for example, here is here media, then mu1 is equal to mu2 is equal to 1 for the here. Or for any media, if the medium on both sides of the optical system is same, mu1 is equal to mu2, and this get cancels. So what we are getting is mx, this will be equal to what we are getting, m square. So we are getting m square. So this is what here the relationship between the axial magnification and the lateral magnification. From this equation it is seen that the axial magnification is square of lateral magnification. M is lateral magnification. So axial magnification is always equal to square of the lateral magnification. So this is the relationship between these two, m and mx. Mx is equal to always m square. So remember. Now we will find out what is the value of the alpha, and then we will take the relationship between all these three angular magnifications. For that here, suppose this is the equation number 7. This is equation number 7, which is required. Now here, if theta1 and the theta2 are the angles made by the incident ray and its emergent ray from the object and the image corresponding to, then the ratio of tan theta2 divided by tan theta1 is known as angular magnification, and the for small angles we can write like this. Now here there is one law, we recall that law, that is recall Lagrange's law. Recall Lagrange's law. Lagrange's law. So what is that law? If suppose this is the optic axis and there are many here the systems, this is the one optical system, this is the other optical system, this is the next optical system, the media is nothing but here the 1, here is 2, here is 3, and so on here. The refractive index of this media is nothing but suppose mu1, refractive index of this media is nothing but mu2, this is the refractive index of the media is nothing but mu3, say like this. And if suppose here the object is placed in this case here having the height that is nothing but y1 on the axis, you are getting image. If we can draw this ray which makes an angle theta1 here, like this, we can make the angle theta1 like this. For the image side we are getting, if suppose we are getting image somewhere like this here, and we can draw this ray, emergent ray or the refracted ray for this first system, and this angle is nothing but theta2, say this is angle is nothing but theta2, and the y2 is nothing but here the height of the image for the first system. This image can be act as an object for this system. So we can draw like this. Next here the object, or in this case say like this, we can write this is the angle theta2 here the ray, and here somewhat we are getting the image here and having the height if suppose y3 here, y1, y2. Y2 is nothing but image for the first system. This can be act as an object for the next system. We are getting y3 here, and here we are getting the image angle that is nothing but theta3, say it is theta3, and so on here. Then from Lagrange it is shown that here mu1 y1, it is found that this is mu1 y1 tan theta1, mu1 y1 tan theta1, this will be equal to mu2 y2 tan theta2, and so on, tan theta2, which is equal to also mu3 y3 tan theta3, and so on, tan theta3, and so on. This is known as the Lagrange's law, and from this Lagrange's law we can come to the point of the definition of the angular magnification. So from that here we have to rearrange, and for the small angles this equation can be represented as here mu1 y1 theta 1, this will be equal to mu2 y2 theta 2. For small angles theta 2 theta 1 theta 2 are small, very small angles. For small angles we can write this equation. So from this equation we can write theta 2 here, the theta 2 divided by theta 1, this will be equal to theta 1 take to this side, so we are getting mu1 y1 divided by mu2 y2. Now from this equation we get here the theta 2 divided by theta 1 is nothing but angular magnification. So this alpha, so which implies this alpha angular magnification will be equal to mu1 y1 divided by the mu2 y2 here. So this is the definition of this equation, gives the angular magnification. Now from this equation also it is seen that here the alpha can be written as, this is alpha, consider again this equation, alpha is equal to mu1 y1 divided by mu2 y2, and this can be written as mu1 as it is mu1 divided by the mu2, and we will take y1 to this side here. So we are getting here the y2 divided by the y1, and here y2 divided by y1 is nothing but what here? The lateral magnification m. So we can write here the mu1 divided by the mu2 here is nothing but m. So this equation gives here the angular magnification. If media on both sides of the optical system here are the same, then and we can write this equation as alpha is equal to 1 upon m. Why? Because mu1 is equal to mu2. This mu1 is equal to mu2. mu1 is equal to mu2. If medium on both sides of the optical system is same, then mu1 is equal to mu2, and we are getting alpha is equal to 1 upon m. Yeah. So this is the relationship between the angular magnification and the lateral magnification. It is in that the angular magnification is reciprocal of the lateral magnification. Now we will find out the relationship between all these magnifications, and for that here we will consider the another equation here. Consider mx into alpha. So this will be equal to, so we are consider the product of the axial magnification and the angular magnification. Axial magnification mx is equal to, we have find out here the mx is equal to m square. So we can write the value of mx, this is equal to m square, into the value of alpha is equal to 1 upon m here, into 1 upon m here, and finally we are getting here, which implies mx into alpha, this will be equal to m get cancels, we are getting m. So this gives the relationship between three magnifications. So from this it is seen that the lateral magnification is always product of the axial magnification and the angular magnification. So this is, so we have seen the different definitions of the three magnifications. We have obtained the formulas for that magnifications, and next chapter we have also relate all these magnifications and relationship between these two, and so on, and finally we comes to the point that the three magnifications are related by this equation. This is what here, the lateral magnification is always equal to what here, the product of the axial and the angular magnifications. Okay, thank you very much.